King of Pain, bringing the pain. King of Pain, bringing the pain. You need, like, the super deep, gravelly voice when you say King of Pain. King of Pain. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. It's Sunday night, and of course that means we have a whole lot of viewer games, and it's going to be a weird one because I have somewhere between 1/2 and 1 solid hour of sleep and a whole lot of caffeine. So we'll see where this goes. Let's jump in. Alright, chat, so maybe my voice will not be as bombastic as usual, which is probably better in the long run so that I'm not, like, blowing people's ears out like I usually am. We'll see how this goes. We're going to lead off with Strahd here. So before we jump into any of the games, of course, I have to let everybody know that I am part of the content affiliate program. You may notice that big coffee bank. That is from the devs. They do give me coffee for producing Phobies content, but we all love some Phobies, so let's jump into some games. So like I said, we're going to lead off with Strahd zoning in here on Home Sweet Home. The notes for this game are there's no escape, Cerberus action. All right, let's see. We love to see the good boy showing up. My good girl is hanging out on the couch behind me because she's a good baby. She's the best baby. I've talked about my dog on many occasions, chat. I love my dog. I mean, I've always loved all my dogs, but she's my current puppy, so we love her. Steven, what's good? Welcome. Hope everybody out there had a good weekend. If you're already living in the future and it's Monday, well, my condolences, but hopefully the start of your week is going well. I have a lot of busy weeks, and while we're watching the beginning of this game, which does include a numbskull, this must be going back a ways for the undead event or something. This was played on the 14th of May, so yeah, I think this was during the undead event, as you can tell from the current ongoings from the board. But if you're watching this, Fright Night number 8 is coming up. It's going to be at the end of this month being June of 2023. You can check out the details in the Randoms Thoughts Discord. By the time this goes live, signups should be live. We're going to be playing a unique format that's Tiny Terrors, only commons or uncommons allowed. So no ultra rares, no rares. There's also going to be no map ban, so it's going to be a unique system compared to what we've run in the past, at least from a format perspective. The structure, as in Swiss and that sort of thing, is going to remain the same. But it does give people an opportunity to try and compete even if they don't necessarily have the high-end stuff. In the meantime, we're seeing more undeads roll their way onto the board. We got a little unbearable action here. Blinky showed up. I feel like Blinky's underrated. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But this numbskull, which is clearly going to take the point, is a level 9. 1200 HP, but that's still not quite enough. The thing is the way that they rolled this unbearable is not great. So I think they were probably, bad guy here, was probably fearing, like, if you put the cassowary in this corner, that it would have been like Blinky and Jar, although I don't know that would have been enough. It might have. I don't know what level Strahd's Jar is, but they could have also tucked it back here safely. Point is, this unbearable should have rolled out to where this cassowary is, because right now this numbskull necessitates either the cassowary coming in and then likely dying, or you have to rearrange stuff so that the unbearable can hit and then you still don't kill the numbskull. We'll have to see. I mean, you could, of course, follow up with something like Snowball or Jar, but you could have done what you were trying to do with simply what you had on the board. And it's these minor errors, these minor misplays that do add up. You can see it in my gameplay all the time where it's just, hey, if I had done these 1, 2, or 3 things that have compounded over the course of the game, I might have been able to turn a currently losing situation around or never be in that losing situation to begin with. So we do get, as the notes indicated, a little Cerberus action here, get some good boy happening. Cassowary is going to end up trading out for Cassowary, presumably, here. And Cerberus is just inexorable march forward. The inexorable march. Down goes Cassowary. Hey, Ando, what's good? Get some creep follow-up, but to be honest, if you try and poison this Cerberus, it's not going to matter. And right now, because our hero appropriately just marched it right up to something, the one mover specifically, it's not going to be able to run away. You can glue yourself onto this, assuming they can't just burn it down. But because of the way Home Sweet Home is set up, it's going to be tough. 4 keys left to 8. There's still a lot of keys that... Really? Really? I mean, you know, to be perfectly honest, I don't hate it. Bad guy went on the full retreat to get away from the Cerberus, but ultimately there is something still vulnerable. I do like the idea of getting the double hit with the Murder Wing here. The poison will eliminate it. It's going to require several more hits, or it's realistically going to die. Creep is an effective trade into Murder Wing, if you can get it to connect, that is. Yeah, we're full-on undead here. The funny thing is, I don't know if this bad sushi can actually... Wait, is this all level 1? Oh, this is a level 1 bad sushi? Yeah, I don't... Okay, so I was originally thinking I don't hate the bad sushi play, because it's like, alright, if you can connect with these things, that's an enormous amount of poison, but not at level 1. But regardless, we get a smiley, which of course is, you know, kind of a problem for undead. This is also kind of a problem. Well played, Strahd. Building the castle, locking the gate so your opponent can't get in, and... How fitting is it that we have Cerberus guarding the gates here? The only gate into the castle that our hero has constructed here is guarded by Cerberus. Seems very fitting. Murder Wing does in fact go down. Smiley can lead an air-based assault, but yeah, this is going to be a problem. It's interesting that bad guy dropped the Daisy back. I mean, I guess they're just rearranging things here, but like, I don't know. Down goes the unbearable. If bad guy makes a real attempt to try and, like, just man fight through the Cerberus, I don't think it's gonna... I mean, I don't know what they do here. I don't think you can... The disease almost doesn't matter, nor does the poison. Yes, it's a lot of damage. On this Blinky, it's absolutely going to be more, but this Cerberus is going to be able to chew through virtually everything. And right now, there's a path directly to the heart. Electing not to take it, instead just going to beat up on the forces here. I mean, it's a triple panic point advantage that, yes, you're getting diseased, but you are leeching life on the way. As mentioned, triple panic point advantage. I probably would not have bothered with the bad sushi. I guess the repositioning here was to try and, you know, dodge this, because sushi actually does have a cooldown for people who aren't aware, since it doesn't show up all that much. I don't think it was worth hitting the sushi. I think you probably just hit the heart, but it looks like bad guy saw the writing on the wall here with 1900 health, triple panic points, and still a bunch of hit points left to try and stave off any kind of invade to reclaim the panic points. Well played, Strahd. GG. All right, next game up is Master Dark back on Home Sweet Home. Let's see what we got here for notes. Who kept it cool more? Who kept it cool more, I guess is what was intended there. Me or Gakuen? Keep it cool video reference, question mark. I don't know that reference. I don't know that reference, but pour one out for Gakuen. Seems to have... elected to step away from the game for some time, which we've talked about this before. It is perfectly... I hope people don't take it as like a sky is falling moment when one of the big players decides to exit the game. There's lots of reasons, and I don't know Gakune's reasons personally, but there's lots of reasons to step away from any game, including ones that you love for either a period of time, an extended period of time, or forever. And it's not necessarily, oh my god, the game is bad or something's wrong. It's just, hey, I'm in a spot where I need to play other stuff. I don't want to play this, or I just can't. And I think that's fair on all sides. But as far as this game goes, we're getting a relatively unique opener. It's not common to see snowball openers on this map any longer, but we do get the more common anti-snowball opener, which is snowball plus 1-drop in order to block off a fireball, a shish kebab, from your opponent's snowball onto yours. Obviously, the cat was able to back off onto the spa. Almost a no harm, no foul scenario. So we'll see how aggressive bad guy wants to be. They probably should not be here. The reason being is that they will lose this Gravedigger. Now, Gravedigger on level, I believe DT pointed out, will die to a creep. But right now, bad guy's at level 15 Gravedigger to a level 10 creep. What are we looking at other level-wise? We have a fairly sizable level advantage going in favor of bad guy. To me, it's always when things are 3 levels or higher is when it's really scary. If it's 1 or 2, it's like, yes, that's bad. You don't want to be down levels for any reason. But it's not a crisis. It becomes a crisis when it starts reaching 3+, because then your Phobies, it's not just, oh, they survive by 4 hit points. It's, okay, they're surviving by potentially 100 or hundreds. I know that math doesn't really work out, but it just gets worse. I think that much is probably obvious. But this is a pretty good counter push here from Master Dark, able to take out, what, 6 keys here, and they should not lose anything. Like, this is almost 600 damage. So, we'll round it up to 1,200. Since Snowball's down and Snowball wouldn't be able to reach, basically this Jin Sting is unassailable and will be able to make it to the spa. Now, bad guy is still up panic points, so of course the cat's going to have to sacrifice its life to do something, and now we get Murder Wing in order to shoo away the jar. Definitely a worthwhile counter push from Master Dark, but they're not out of it yet. They're not out of the woods yet. So Master Dark is playing it a little more aggressively by instead of just running to the spa, electing to take a pot shot at the Bowmangles, which I can kind of respect. You do need to soften up higher level Phobies when you have the opportunity, because it's very easy to fall behind and then never be able to get back over the mountain, over the hump, and actually contest anything. So you take those shots, be a little more aggressive, and you just ultimately have to hope that your opponent makes a positioning error and you're able to take them down. Now this is interesting that our hero here is electing to go after Stabby. Huh, okay. This must have been, unless Master Dark is very quick with the math, this must have been calculated so that this will work out. I do like this Klepto positioning because, well, this is a little weird. You'll probably end up trading, like, Bowmangles kills Jin Sting, walks away. Murder Wing kills Jar, dies to Klepto, is kind of how I see this going. Now, it's possible that 347. Okay, so the creep alone will not kill the Jin Sting with a poison spit, because then you could offer up like a cheaper key. This is kind of what you generally fear going up against higher levels, where you end up in this position that, hey, well, now it's triple panic point advantage, but also they're just sniping your stuff left and right, and you just don't have these windows to really take stuff down. However, in our hero's favor, this is a roughly half-health Bowmangles and creep, and that's it. You have Klepto on the board. Following up with the Stabby is interesting because you do clearly need to claim panic points back, and now thanks to the creep spit, you probably want to put Snowball on the spa, or at least be tempted to, but bad guy has sunk all their keys into a pterodactyl. It's possible you can just kill this right now, which it appears our hero is going to go for, which is appropriate. You have to push, you have to take things back. Now, what's a little surprising is that the Snowball here, well, it wouldn't have captured the point anyway. It was dead to poison. I was going to say stand on the poison, or the panic point, but now bad guy made an error here, I think. Hey, Big She, what's good? Bad guy just passed turn. I mean, it looks quick on the replay, but they may have been thinking about it for a while. So we end up with, obviously, our hero at 285 health. They literally can't sustain more than one 1 turn's worth of panic point hits. Not even their turn, opponent's turn. Just 1 turn. But the damage is not quite there for bad guy to eliminate the Contortio and claim a point. Okay, I was about to say, you have to put the cassowary on the point in order to hold it. So bad guy's down to a lone, like, 30% health pterodactyl, and I see what they're going for here. They want to try and push to snipe the heart. All they need is a singular hit, so you have to body block here. Definitely makes sense. Of course, if the pterodactyl tries to occupy the spot, guess what? It's going to die. And at this point, we're just going to watch a very delicate dance of bad guy hoping they can get our hero to miss position at some stage. Our hero has to both cover the heart as well as cover both panic points. You can't allow either to be taken. There's a lot of matches today. We're only going to get through the normal amount. There are a lot. There are definitely a lot. We had a number of people who submitted like 50 games, but we're going to do the same thing where you get 1 per week unless there's time, and there ain't going to be time today. This will be more of an issue as we creep closer to the next patch. That's where we run into problems. We're also going to randomly have games where people will forget to favorite them or something. At this point, our hero has successfully locked bad guy out. I think they've accepted defeat. Just making a note because I'm looking at some obs stats things. Zombie on the spot, thumbnail, yep. I mean, should that be the thumbnail? Like, is this thumbnail worthy? I could make it like the thumbnail caption is like, "You bully," or something like that. I think we all did that early on in our playing career where it's like you're in the match and it's very intense and then you just like forget, "Oh yeah, I can't heal this." I guess just for the sake of hitting all the buttons. Got him, GG. Well played, Master Dark. And like I said, uphill into a pretty significant level disadvantage, so well done. Here we are, jumping into another Gakuen game. We're on Phobos, everybody's favorite map to hate, unless you're Karstocles, who apparently loves this map. I don't know. I think I've come around, at least personally, to hating Phobos less than I hate Moai, and I'm not sure. But notes here from Gakuen are just lots of area damage. Area damage, I think, is... I think area damage, AoE damage, is a... Well, hold on. Out of our hero here, we get a weird opener. Like, Gravedigger, okay, but Venus? Venus? I don't know about that. Me too, I'm starting to hate less that map in Pluto. I don't think it's that I hate Phobos less. For me personally, I think it's just that I am starting to hate Moai more. Nobody hates Phobos anymore. Is it that people don't hate it or they just don't talk about hating it anymore? I think those are, and this goes for a lot of things, that whether it's, because somebody had commented in Discord that, oh, well, nobody hates Stabby, and then immediately, myself included, like 10 people are like, no, lots of people hate Stabby, it's just everybody knows about it. I don't like the hyper-aggression on Phobos. I mean, I'd have to go back through and re-rank them. But it definitely feels like, to me, Phobos frequently comes down to very few plays. Now, realistically, a lot of maps are like that. By the way, we're getting the Gakuen special here. Why is Gakuen, like, the one-mover expert here? We've seen a lot of double Hydra plays, like Hydra Blondie, but the early Jill here... I don't hate the Noxious. By the way, bad guy, what? Why are we getting double Venus? Like, is this the thumbnail? Trying to, like... Is this the thumbnail? Like, what is this board state? This absolutely feels like one of the trailer games. Like, why? Except they would never have double Phobies in the trailers. Like, that wouldn't happen. This will make it easier to do the thumbnail now that they're all grouped, if I use this one. And just make, like, Venus tournament board state. I mean, to be honest, we had some wild-ass board states in the tournaments. I was making a point earlier about balance, and I don't remember what it was. Honest to God, like, I forgot. We've talked about, like, 6 things since then. Because we started talking about how much I hate Phobos, and that nobody, like, dislikes Phobos anymore. That might have been what it was, that, like... There is an element of, are people just tired of talking about a thing? And I was saying this when I was doing the balance talk the other night, that I do get tired of talking about balance and, like, repeating the same points. I don't mind talking about it, like, explaining things, but if I'm just repeating the same general ideas, it's like, all right, we've already established this, or I feel we have. Do we need to keep doing it? This is kind of bold here. This is really bold. All right, wait. Ooh, this is kind of a cool thumbnail. Like, this is an interesting board state. This is very weird. I know I keep pausing for this stuff, but, like, it's funny looking. Like, this is a big deal. That's a lot of damage going down on that Hydra, and you have Ray Chargel's follow-up. Like, this thing might just be dead. It should be dead. Snowball, yep. Alright, so that's 4 keys just dumped right in the grumper. Little Clobster action. Now, admittedly, this is poisoned. It's not long for the world. This is going to take some damage. This Droney is reclaiming points, so it's now a 3-1. 3-2, rather. Our hero could claim this. This Venus is kind of out of position, but... Mildred on Phobos? I don't hate this. I don't hate this, chat. Like, this is actually kind of cool, and definitely not what I was expecting out of Gakuen. I was expecting Blondie. I mean, I know we said lots of AoE, but still. So the reason I don't hate Mildred on this map is... It's tanky enough that you can't... Maybe not that you can't, but it would be challenging for your opponent to just dive it without having to sink in. Like, we watched a game last night. One of the higher... I want to say it was like Dragon Alien Engineer or somebody. I forget which one, like the players, but it was on Opticon, and there was an Akira play, and basically the whole team had to commit onto a Blastomatic. So then, despite the Akira play, you only killed one thing and then just got annihilated on the counterattack. So here, this is a similar thing, is the point where you have this Mildred that is representing such an enormous threat, but Mildred is fairly tanky. You know, 2,400 health, you'll have to commit to it, and it's absolutely a bully to push your opponent off of the stim. And if you then take the center and hold the stim as the Mildred player... Even if your opponent commits into you, you can either just Mildred them as a counterattack, or you walk Mildred up to, you know, like right before the stim, and then you go, okay, step on the stim, and then Mildred you from the stim, which is going to be hysterical if that's what happens. This is bold. Because that's not an enormous amount of damage going down. We are going to get a juiced... Oh, baby. I think Noxious, like, this might be the thumbnail, because Noxious juiced up like this. I don't think I've had a Noxious thumbnail yet. I'm trying to, like, rotate the Phobies that are on there. Normally, 300... Chat. This is normally 390. It's 1,135 damage right now. Oh my god. Get wrecked. Look at that! Follow up with Klepto? Oh my god. Oh my god. The damage! I mean, Noxious is going to be a hero, going down, paying for all of this with its life, but I don't know what this foul is going to do here. Probably nothing. I don't think Mildred
That is savage!
That is pretty savage. DT is right. Alright, Mildred's not back yet. Down goes Klopster. Interesting to put it here, rather than on the stem. Like, something is gonna occupy the stem, right? Maybe our hero thinks that they're not gonna be aggressive about it, but 2 keys to 0. Our hero's got to win with what they got on the board, but I mean, they have a lot of HP, and bad guy has significantly less HP. Now, we don't know where any of the... What has this Venus done? It's been hanging out all the way in left field. No one's been there. I don't know what Venus is doing. Bad guy, I guess, appropriately just runs the hell away. This is kind of what I was talking about. Now, bad guy, because the panic points are even, bad guy might be able to wait our hero out. Like, let the Venus die, but... Yeah, Venus has just been capping points. It's a goddamn potted plant. Just sitting on the panic points. I'm just doing my growing thing. I don't care what else is happening. Like, what? What is happening? Holy shit, come on. Really? That is some next level fear. That is, as they might say, imposing your will on your opponent. It's just like, no. Second Gonzo activation. Don't even need the stem, right? Don't even need the Mildred on the stem. Not that there would ever be a chance that they would walk in range. Well, actually, if something got close enough, the splash would probably get it. I really want to see a stem to Mildred. I don't think we've seen that yet. We've seen Gonzo'd Mildreds. We might have seen a Scritched Mildred. That sounds weird to say. But I don't think we've seen a stemmed Mildred. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Hey, just random. What's good? Alright, Klepto, I think bad guys accepted their fate at this stage. We're gonna get... How does our hero not just win this turn, though? I guess you're probably gonna have to sink too much damage and not be able to kill the Venus or something? Oh, this lives with a No, it's gonna die! Just joined, what am I looking at? A massacre. A massacre. This actually was a very entertaining game. This is a very entertaining game. I'll be honest, chat. Like, I've mentioned I don't like Phobos. We were talking about at the beginning of this map, this replay. If we get more games that are entertaining, I'll be okay with it. My biggest issue with watching many Phobos games and playing them is they feel incredibly, like, intensely one-sided. This one felt, at least it had some unique plays in it, you know what I mean? It felt kind of one-sided, and, like, there was a break point, a watershed moment in that game, and it was just like, alright, bad guys just hosed. There's no way they're coming back. And Gakuen didn't let him back in the game. Just slammed the door. GG. Alright, back on Phobos. drtyBeanWatr, our blue player, who wrote a small novella for their notes. So let's see. I'm pausing it so we can get it all in and see what's going on. Alright, this is my first game review submission. Even though I won, I would still like some criticism on what I could have done better. Anyways, the opponent's opening was very odd to me throughout the game. My Phobies had some really close calls. Now, I didn't catch the stress levels because I didn't realize, like, I looked at the notes after we zoned into the game. So, but shout out to anybody submitting games. If you want to submit your own games, of course, hit up the links in the description. Come by the Random Thoughts Discord. It's really not hard. You'll figure it out. Yeah, definitely entertaining. So we do get a more common opener, like variations of this. One thing I will say for our hero here is there's basically no point in occupying this. Now, normally, so this is 795. Okay, normally your opponent is not going to walk something in to die like this, right? Because you can just cook this cat right now for free. That normally doesn't happen. What most people do, or at least this is the old way, was people would send Snowball to one of the panic points, because then you're just up 1-0 immediately. Then you can walk it onto the stim if you need to, or just send it all over the map. Obviously, the follow-up with the cowbell means that, of course, you know, you can start capping other points. So, because imagine they didn't send this cat in to be, or this Contortio for that matter. What the, wait, timeout. What is happening? What is happening? Chat, this might be our thumbnail. What is this? What am I looking at? What is happening right now? This is turn 1. Not that you would really do it on any other turn either, but like, why? Why is this happening? When our hero said that the opening was unorthodox or odd or whatever, I was thinking, yeah, like Big She is saying, 3-1 keys. It's like, all right, that's kind of rare comparatively, but it's acceptable. Or like last game we saw Gravedigger into Venus. That's rare, even though part of it was normal. It still has an abnormal part. What is this? Time out. Chat, or people watching this on YouTube, if you've ever seen this opener before, it could even be on another map for that matter. I don't think I've seen 6-1 key opener ever. Let me know in the comments, because I really got to know. So we are going to get Cook Cat. I think it would have been better to have this claim this point. The reason I say that is this Contortio can come up and probably snipe this. So what level are we at? Level 8, 10. The bad guy has a slight level advantage, it would appear. I think you would have been better because the cowbell was 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you could have taken this point with cowbell, is the point. AoE Phobies looking real good? Yeah. Yeah. Although I expect all of these Phobies to scatter. We'll see. So yes, absolutely cook the cat. This is fine. You're safe from pretty much everything. I think the cowbell could have came down here because I imagine this cowbell is going to die for free. Well, maybe not for free, but it's... Ooh, they can't kill it. Never mind. All right, I was overestimating the power of this. I mean, it's still going to die. The funny thing is, this Noxious is probably going to still get value. So if they had instead... Like, this is a better play from Bad Guy, claiming your point instead of this, because it evens it out panic point-wise. The problem is... Well, I mean, it was going to get splashed anyway, but they could pull the Noxious on there if they really wanted to. I doubt they would, because there's too many threats here. Banking to 10. Truth be told, like, you're in a commanding position right now as our hero. Yeah, banking's probably fine. This Bachelor is going to die before anything of value happens. This Contortio is going to die before anything of value happens, really. So it's just wait for this cooldown to come up, try and pick off some other things. They're only up 3-2 despite all of this. Like, I don't know what the hell Bad Guy is doing. Okay. Hydra, sure. Get it. There's the AoE. You get a little Klepto action. Little Gonzo. Alright, our hero is just gonna bully Bad Guy. They're just gonna push him in the dirt and take their lunch money. I mean, you're giving up a panic point here, but as soon as you eliminate one of these two... So, okay, so timeout. I don't Alright, so you would not have had enough damage as bad guy to go after and kill this Klepto. I don't love the push here with the Stairmaster. The reason being is the Stairmaster might die anyway. Like, you could juice this, lob, and then fireball, and that if that's not enough, maybe an attack with the snowball's enough as well. Bad guy loading up on Team Molasses back here. I don't love the... Well, I guess the snowball positioning's fine, because it's a dimensional, so it'll yoink something into the pit. Ted's True Love going down. The Ray makes sense. I mean, you do need an answer to this Hydra. I don't know why I was blanking on it. Bad guy electing to not kill the snowball seems a little odd. I don't... What? 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 What was that turn? Like, look, I've made some really bad plays. But that was not a good turn. So what I was thinking is, like, maybe you kill the snowball with this. Yeah, you don't cap this panic point, but you eliminate the snowball. It's far enough away that, like, our hero would have to hard commit with things, and maybe you can cut it off with the turrets. Like, you kill the snowball, you hang out here, and then you supplement with turrets. And maybe you can threaten the Klepto because you get 2 hits from the Stairmaster, whatever. You know, like I don't know that I love that play either, but I don't know why you just do this unless bad guy ran out of time, forgot, you know, and ran out of time on their turn. I also don't love this Hydra right here. Like, we're about to see, are these from Ray or is this from Gonzo? Like these bubbles. It's from Ray, right? It's a very rare situation where you're forced to sacrifice phobies like that, but now, yeah, like it happens sometimes. That was not one of them. We get a juiced Ray Chargels, turning Hydra into a freaking electric Christmas tree. Just a Christmas tree. Boom goes the dynamite. Now, the only thing I will say for bad guy right now, they do have a 4-to-1 panic point advantage, but our hero has 10 keys banked. They're just picking off bad guy at will. So, as far as comments of, like, what could our hero have done differently? We made a couple of things. Hydra is a Christmas tree. There were a couple things that, like, could have been cleaned up. But realistically right now, bad guy is just stuffing Phobies aggressively into the wood chipper. Alright, you kind of need to kill this. Zomboni? Really? Okay, so this turn doesn't feel optimal. The reason being is, if you don't kill the Stabby, what they're going to do is they're going to yoink something and then blow it up with Stabby. The thing is I don't know that it matters. Honestly, like, okay, they yoink your Klepto and kill it. Great. You counterattack and... Oh, your counterattack isn't going to be great, because Zomboni, while it... I mean, this is a low-level Zomboni. This is a level 3 Zomboni. Only 400 damage. Not even. Like, you're not necessarily going to be able to kill anything other than one of these, and maybe not both, because you don't have this up, you don't have the AoE up. At least I don't think you do. So, like, if they snipe Klepto, that's a huge portion of your damage here. So, like, I think you have to be careful of the spider, is the point. Because the spider can go here and pull Klepto and still be relatively safe. Bad guy does not seem remotely interested in that play. Oh, they are not... What? Why? I don't know. I don't know. Let's just say that that didn't feel like an incredibly effective turn from bad guy. What in tarnation? Wait, what are you, Yosemite Sam? What in tarnation? It's the day of juiced up rays. We even get a Zomboni activation, chat. I kind of want to make that the thumbnail. How often do you get a Zomboni activation? It wasn't necessarily, like, a material one, either. Like, I mean, it kind of matters, but... I want to pause it on when the Zomboni thing goes off. It might have been better. We'll find out momentarily. Like, that just looks cool. It might have actually been better to... Oh, no, you can't kill the spider. Never mind. It might have been... Like, you could have done... It would have been 7. No, this Zomboni just doesn't have enough damage. I don't think there's any way you were killing the spider here. So this heal kind of matters, but you're going to get a sheep connection here. I could appreciate wanting to recap points. I guess. So, definitely Zomboni was not worth it here. This Zomboni is 6 keys that could have easily been something much more impactful. Wait, did this sheep not attack? I think the sheep didn't attack. I don't think the sheep attacks. Did bad guy, like, run out of time on multiple turns in this game? Because there are definitely things that just make no sense here. So the sheep just straight up doesn't attack, and it could have just killed the ray. I didn't realize how squished the sheep gets. Squishy sheep. Yeah, like, the ray should have died. Instead, the ray is just going to deal out a gazillion damage. Give or take. I'm not going to lie. Could have moved the spider and the sheep could have attacked. Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen. But even with the sequence of plays they had, it's like, okay, at least attack with the sheep so that way you kill the ray. Honestly... It's entirely possible, given the clustering of the units there, that, like, that sheep just goes off. It's possible instead, like... Hold on. You started in this position. You probably could just kill the ray and have the sheep go off on the stem and then just kill Noxious while poisoning Zomboni. And from there, I mean... It's possible our hero's able to kill the spider, so then it's like 6 keys, damaged Evo, likely a dead probably only one of these die, because remember, this thing's not doing much damage. So it's like Ted, Evo, one of these, it's possible both die, maybe not, and whatever they put on 6 versus soon-to-be-dead Zomboni, Gonzo, Daisy, Jar, and Klepto. Although that Gonzo's almost dead. Like, this wasn't an unwinnable scenario, despite the weird moves from bad guy. Like, bad guy did some incredibly, intensely bizarre things. And they still almost pulled this back. Like, this... I don't know. I mean, at this point, it's over. But, like, that turn could have been ridiculous. I didn't see if this was Arena when we zoned in, but it feels like this must have been Arena and bad guy just straight up ran out of time. So like I said, I think the Zamboni was not a great choice. I think in general, you probably needed to like poke more so that way you could kill stuff. Like, your team was so clustered. And this was, it felt like such a big waste. Yes, it healed the Ray, but that Ray shouldn't have done anything the second time. And the second time is really what Ray got a ton of value out of, I think. It's hard to pick out, like, oh, well, you should have done this, or this would have been a better plan, because your opponent put themselves in such an enormous hole early on that it's like, I don't want to say it didn't matter, because it almost did, but like, what would you have done if your opponent didn't turn into a clown boat? I don't know. That one's weird. There's definitely minor things to clean up, like we were talking about. The Zamboni was less than desirable. I don't know if you have Muffin or something like that. It might have just been better off, like, okay, let these things die, and then just put a different 6 key or a 5 and a 1, you know, whatever, on the board. I think your opponent, like, they just never capitalized on the mistakes you did make. Like, the spider pull, I think, would have been better. Like, did they even pull something at all? They had that one pull where they could have sniped Klepto and probably put you in a bad spot, I think. That one was weird. It felt like you definitely were the better player in that game. But it isn't, and I don't mean this to be insulting, but it's definitely something to keep in mind. Like, did you win the game, or did your opponent lose the game? And those can be two different things. And it can be challenging to identify the difference, and sometimes it ultimately doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, the person who won, won, and the person who lost, lost. But at the same time, it will tell you, like, was I out of position, which I think you were in a number of instances, and your opponent just missed it. Or because they decided to open 6-1 keys. Like, why? I don't know. Well played, well played. All right, chat, we got a 26-turn game here on Megalo. Morbid Fates is our hero. The Crybaby made a big oopsie all over the opponent. So I've been trying to push Oopsie Baby. I mean, I was attempting it on stream, and it didn't work out in the game that I did it. But I think Oopsie Baby does have a place. I just need to play it more. And I've talked about it before that I'm not great with... I need repetition to really see things the way I want to. And then I get annoyed when I lose ladder points, which I shouldn't, but I do. So it's not like ladder anxiety, because I'll happily just keep queuing up. I just start tilting is the problem. But anyway, more importantly for this game, Sucky is the opener from Morbid here. Bad guy elects to go with one of the Germ brothers, and I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of that. Not a huge fan. Hero gets their own Gravedigger to match bad guys, 2-to-1 panic point advantage. Could you have killed the, You could have killed the cat. I don't think you lose the Sucky. Probably. And then you don't... Yeah, that wouldn't have been worth it, because you ultimately would not have been able to kill the Germ. I think if you go in, kill the cat, and because they stay to kill your Sucky, you then kill the Germ, it's probably worth it. But things weren't in position in order to do that. So instead, we're going to get a common Megalo game of everybody staring at each other until we put more powerful things on the board. In this case, bad guy breaks the parity first with Thematic Instinct. Yo, Oopsie Baby action, here it is. Oopsie in this scenario is pretty decent, I think. Bad guy reestablishing the choke point there. A little more bees action. And a very bold jar. Oh, maybe it's not that bold. It's pretty safe. There's really no way for our hero to get at it. But here's the thing, putting that up, like, this is exactly it. So that Gravedigger's just dead, right? I mean, I think our hero's Gravedigger pays with its life as a result. This seems like a kind of a bad trade. However, okay, maybe it's not. The reason I say that is the body block here from Contortio, even though this cat can come in and reclaim this, you still have to sink damage into removing this, which means it's not going down on one of these. So it's probably Sucky and Contortio die. Yeah, there's no way Sucky lives. Oh, excuse me, chat. You're gonna have to forgive me. Like I said, I'm running on like 1 hour's sleep. And I don't think I'm exaggerating. I kind of wish I was exaggerating. I'm feeling like Vendy. Just craving some coffee. We get the power down here for how much? Alright, that's kind of intense. It almost deserves a thumbnail of its own. Like, that's pretty intense, chat. We have a lot of candidates so far. 423, so it's down to 167 damage. Get a little giraffe bachelor action. We haven't had one of those in a while. But more bees is up. Jar is in range. I mean, this is a lot of damage that's going to go down, but I doubt it's enough to kill the Oopsie, especially through that cowbell blocker. The canine seems extraneous. Okay, so the canine might be okay in the sense that you... Like, if they advance, the canine can help clear stuff so that way you don't have to invest attacks in other things. The bad guy elected to spread a lot of their damage. I think they could have more efficiently killed the cowbell and then possibly killed the Gravedigger. But instead, Gravedigger lives, it goes and chops the jar into pieces. Gonna get a challenge play? Challenge play to reclaim the panic point. We get the B brothers going on. Everyone's favorite obscure NES game, the B brothers. Little Wiggy action. I feel like I've seen more Wiggies than any of the other anniversary Phobies. Outside of, like, the initial rush of people, like, hey, I got this new thing, let me show you. I feel like Wiggy shows up more. I mean, it's a lower rarity, of course, but it's also just cheap. Key-wise, I mean. Clinico, the penultimate Phobie, had a bad guy, and then a Contortio to round out the team. Our hero has locked up the board somewhat. Especially since they still have 3 keys remaining. Cat coming out to replace the inevitable Contortio invade. So bad guy has to push. Honestly, if I were them, it might have been worth waiting to get the Clinico online. The problem is that this can now connect with this. Or this, for that matter. Like, you could straight up turn off damage from the Jin Sting. Well, it would have a little bit from bees, but... And you can do that while clearing this out. Hey, Taco, what's good? Alright, so it looks like we're going to get the hit here on Hematic. Definitely makes sense. 61 damage. Yep. Oh, by the way, our hero still has keys left. This is interesting, this body block here. It does force the Jin Sting to come here, which is in range of the Oopsie Baby, as opposed to going here, which would have been in range of the Oopsie Baby, so I don't know about that. It does force them to, of course, sink damage there as well, as opposed to anything else. If only if it was the funny number for damage. Wiggy slapping the snot out of plain old Jin Sting. I would say that our hero's playing with fire with the Oopsie Baby, but I don't think it really matters. This is also classic. Get a little boom action. I like the 2-1 split rather than putting it all into a single 3-key. I don't know that I would go with boom, but... It feels a little bit like our heroes playing with fire, as though they might have been able to eliminate something on the last couple turns to try and reduce the threat further. But I mean, you're going to kill this here. You could probably boom the Clinico, and then they have to get through these. And I just don't think that's going to happen. So what could happen here is you invade as bad guy, kill the cassowary, but then it's going to be I kill this and soften up the hematic. And I think that's exactly how it's going to play out. And you can beat this up, Oopsie Baby kills the Gesundheit, or you can just kill the hematic. I had assumed it had enough health, but... Alright, now it's... And then there was just Gesundheit. The antibiotics have arrived, and our hero Morbid is going to take this one down. I really like the Oopsie Baby play from this position. It definitely forced... So the thing is that I think a lot of it comes down to, because bad guy broke parity first, so they put the hematic on the board. So you knew that they can't follow up with something bigger, badder than Oopsie Baby. Like, Oopsie Baby comes out and then can control the board because you know what... Like, they can't follow up with yet another big threat. It's, they need to bank up, so you buy time for both Oopsie Baby to get into the fray, to cover the board with its range, to power stuff down, all that fun stuff. But well played there, Morbid. GG. Next up, we have KingOfPain. Very, It either sounds like a bad guy boss, like a boss in a video game or something, or like a wrestling name or a wrestling title. I don't know. Or at least that's what I'm hearing in my head. But the notes here are, guess what? Here we go again. A little deja vu feeling, but a much closer game this time. Try to guess when the cool plays happen. All right, let's see. Let's see what we got. We're on hold still here. And we're getting the fairly standard openers. Like, this is fine from player 2. Player 1 opener makes sense. I would have rather have seen, and I've said this on many occasions before, like, break the obstacles sooner, because then you get the cooldown back faster. But if it's turn 1, I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter that much. More interesting thing here is we get a little snot monster action coming out pretty quick. Like, Snot Monster is not uncommon, really, on any map, really. It's just generically good phobie. So, as a result, you see it all the time. But Hold Still isn't exactly the map that comes to mind when I think of it. But our hero here is continuing to flood the board with phobies. Snot Monster allows them to just claim this panic point pretty quickly. And we do get the spider follow-up, hence the phobie spam, which is important because getting the yoinks on the board, you can definitely threaten stuff. I think we all know where this can go. Bad guy electing to just get in there. They're going to put a big hurt on this Snot Monster, which means that... Okay, electing to kill the cat. I mean, you're not going to kill the Quagmire, and it's going to have to retreat no matter what. But I'm a little surprised that it didn't come down here. I mean, I guess this is fine. If you're not going to kill it, you might as well cook the cat. Wonder if he can turn into a toilet. I'm going to go out on a limb and say no. I don't think that one's going to happen. I think that's probably a step beyond the sort of phobias that... Like, I don't think we're going to see a toilet snake phobie. Is what I'm saying here. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, I don't think we're going to see a toilet snake phobie. Alright, so our hero does appropriately body block here. Why is that appropriate? Well, otherwise, bad guy could, of course, slide in Gravedigger block. It wouldn't be great, because, of course, there's a Gravedigger here, there's a spider, blah, blah, blah. Bad guy elects to not go for the Gravedigger snipe, of course, in fear of the Miss Moffats, supplementing their forces with their own. But our hero's been inching up this Innocuous, and this is a good map for Innocuous. This is just going to be a dead snowball. Quick pick off at the top. Bad guy being a little bit lazy about it, and there's not a whole lot that bad guy can do to retaliate. Because it's like, you could yoink the Quagmire, but that's not going to matter. Ooh, we get some honorary good boy happening. little bit of slammerhead here. We need claustrophobia, fear of Santa Claus. I mean, I know I'm being trolled, but I'm too tired to think of a wittier comeback. Like, I'm just too tired. My eyes feel like they're legitimately gonna bleed. It's like a Green Day song. Okay. I was gonna say, like, that's a vulnerable, slammerhead, but we get the attractor follow-up. I mean, chat, we have 2 yoinks and a boop. There's gonna be some funny stuff happening in this game. There's gonna be some funny stuff, and bad guy's not gonna have a whole lot of options. It's gonna end poorly for him. Now, the Hevo 2.0 can make our hero's life a little complex, but... Here's the even crazier part, is that the Gravedigger is still alive. So the Gravedigger can run up, plant a statue that you can yoink off of just to displace something, and then secondary displace with whatever. Maybe tertiary displace. Erratic? That's kind of bold on this map. Into Spider and Hevo, because it just feels like you're going to get this erratic displaced and it's going to die. Alright, the Bachelor sneaks in to flip the panic point advantage. Are we just listening like... Wait. Wait, we gotta see this. This is actually a really cool play. This is actually really, really hype, chat. So ignore the erratic. The erratic is clearly not the important part here. But we get the boop on the Bachelor. It's like, well, who cares? That doesn't kill it or anything. You know what it does? It groups all their phobies. We get the yoink into the next yoink. That's super hype. I'm going to have to remember to pull that clip. Like, that's a big brain clip. Yeah, DT's right. That's big brain. That's some big brain right there. I don't know. Oh, did I change the replay button? I changed my replay button. I don't know if that's actually going to catch the replay. I'll have to probably pull that out. Now, bad guy, of course, gets the counter yoink, but, like, the damage is done. Like, that was, if nothing else, you just get cool points, right? 3-2 panic point advantage. We're going to get the attractor online soon. Not yet, but soon. Now, our hero does have to be a little cautious. You don't want to just, oops, throw stuff away. This is where I need better streaming hardware, chat, because if I could break out, like, my camera as a separate... Like, there's add-ons to do it, but it would just kill the frame rate and stuff. Alright, Erratic's just gonna go ham. Oh my god, stop. Yeah, it said Dead Spider. Like, I was too busy talking about other stuff to see that this one was coming. Oh my god. Ouchtown population, you, bro. Like, boop. Got him. Hashtag feels bad, man. Or feels good, man, depending on which side you're on. Quagmire with cojones of steel. Just going in here on this jar. King of Pain, bringing the pain. King of Pain, bringing the pain. You need, like, the super deep, gravelly voice when you say King of Pain. King of Pain. That may be the intro for this, chat. We've had a lot of funny thumbnails and a lot of funny stuff so far. Now, honestly, like, our hero does still have to do stuff. There are still threats to respect on bad guy's side. There's the Hevo, there's the pterodactyl. But I think bad guy's about to learn a harsh lesson. This is a heads-up play. Like, this is big brain. This is big brain, chat. We gotta watch this again. This is a serious big brain play. Like, 70,000 IQ. Watch this. Don't worry about the quagmire. That's not what we're talking about. Yeah, get the preemptive big brain. Well, it's not really preemptive. I redid the replay so we could see this again. This yoink here is great because it's like, oh yeah, the erratic's going to get an enormous amount of splash because of the 3 cluster phobies. But that Finnegan, the Finnegan, baby, into the innocuous snipes. That obstacle came down in the Cretaceous period. Amazing setup. King of Pain. Chad, I'm going to have some YouTube shorts to edit. Like, that was sick. That was actually sick. We've had some great plays, but like that one, I don't know. That one feels like it stands out to me personally. That one stands out to me personally more so. One of the best. Like, that was a great play. I might just make the opening, like, on the thumbnail, just bring the pain. Bro's gonna have a Phobies Hall of Fame. I kind of do. Like, if you look at my shorts, I do, like, on YouTube, my shorts, I try and archive all of the, like, super cool plays, so. It's not like I'm deleting the channel anytime soon or something, so. Is there a way to boop the erratic to death? I don't think so. Not like it really matters. Ooh, that actually does work. Okay. Alright, well, bad guy gets a decent counter boop, but... You're jealous? I think you're on some of them, Big She. I think you're on some of those. I'll admit to being lazy about putting them up as of late, but I'm going to try and make an effort to get those edited. And I'm mostly saying this in the stream, so when it'll remind me when I'm editing this video to, like, go do the clips. But, yeah, King of Pain. Well done. GG. Alright, we got a little twerking raucous action coming at you from Virus, who we don't know what kind of virus is. Is it a computer virus? Is it like a real-life virus? I mean, you know, we'll see. We'll see. But, we're here on Step Right Up. I honestly have difficulty... No, I guess I know them. It's... Whenever I think about the carnival maps, I have to stop and think, well, wait, what's the one I hate? Oh, yeah, it's coulrophobia. So, the other ones. I'm pretty sure this is Step Right Up. We get a kind of unique opener out of both players. Virus going 1-1 into Jin Sting. Bad guy going just straight up Snowball. Straight up Snowball. Your match is the last one. It's actually not the very last one. There is one after you, Big She. Although, it will come up faster than you think because there are a bunch in there that are dupes. So you have to, like, only count one of those. Like, I think it'll be... It's entirely possible I get to it next week, kind of thing. It's not going to happen tonight. There's way too many games. All right, quad panic point advantage from our hero because aggression. So this is an interesting decision to make here. All right, bad guy elects to not send in the snowball because there was a chance they send it in and allow it to die. I don't think there would have been enough damage to threaten the Jin Sting, but I guess it wouldn't be impossible. With only 3 keys, it would be difficult. But this is a lot of panic points. This is a lot of panic points. Many. In fact, all the panic points until now. Chad, I feel like there have been a lot of vampires in my life lately. I know that sounds weird, but, like, I watched that Castlevania show, then I started playing Deliverance and Reign, and now I'm just looking at Bachelor, and I'm like, yeah, vampires. This is a heavy investment in 1 keys. We already have 4 1 keys out of our hero. But, I mean, look at that heart health. You're just getting there. Bachelor. Trading out for Bachelor here. Our hero is banked to 7 as well. So has Bad Guy. But I mean, even at a 3-to-1 panic point advantage, this is still... Wait, why did you do that? Oh, okay. It was already damaged from the other Bachelor, so that was enough damage. I was going to say you have to hit it with Ginsting first, but apparently you did not. Now, there might have been an argument to Bees walk away, walk the cowbell up, and then hit the Murder Wing. Or, you know what might have been a better play? If you Bees, you hit the Contortio, it'd be like 235, 3, like how much was the cowbell? Okay, that wouldn't have been enough damage. I was thinking maybe you can Bees and cowbell hit from the panic point, kill the Contortio, then you claim the point and they have no 1 key, but there's just not enough damage. Mad Guy finally making their mad dash push here. But the reality of the scenario is there's an enormous amount of damage. Like, what are you at? 990 health. Good lord. This is actually a cool play here. Because if Bad Guy commits to trying to kill the Hevo, that means they're leaving the panic point open, which is almost certainly death. Here we get everybody's favorite twerk and rock. Or nerd. Because it still, to me, looked like... The animation that people have in Discord for this makes it look like the nerd's the candy. The Bad Guy elects instead... to move and hold the panic point. They kind of need to put something right here. You don't really have a choice. I mean, I guess they have a choice. They don't have to do it, and it probably would have died no matter what, right? Like, you put Murder Wing up there, it just gets hit twice, and then Raucous comes in. I think I know what the Raucous play that's coming. I think I see it in my mind's eye, if you will. The Desperation Maggie. Yeah, this play makes sense. The aggressive Sparky as well. Electrocat getting the beats in. Get a little AoE Raucous action. Which I assume was the cool Raucous play. I feel a little cheated on this, that there wasn't a more savage Raucous play, but there is one more turn. What is Raucous made out of? Like, it's like Jello. When it gets hit like that, that's so weird. Raucous the Dimensional. Boop. 2 keys left for our hero, 0 for Bad Guy. Our hero can just claim all the points now, can't they? Or this many points? All the points, actually? All the points. Ball game, folks. Got him. GG. GG. Not bad. Very aggressive game. I don't know if I like that opener. I feel like Bad Guy just kind of allowed it to happen, though. And there's something about that map and other ones similar to it where it just kind of... It kind of feels as though you can get bullied out. It's kind of like Red Rum, where you can get forced back into certain positions and then, like, it snowballs kind of hard because you can't get out of the corner you were stuffed into. We have a comparatively longer game, considering a lot of the games before this were fairly short, at least by, you know, usual game review standards. Everybody loves submitting the 5 epoch length games because, you know, why not? Let's have 70,000 turn games. No, let's just have some normal games. But our hero here is HighROI, returning once again with my Fire Ant is better than yours. Everything you can do, my Fire Ant does better. Get pooped on. That's how the children's rhyme goes, right? That's how that song goes? I'll admit it's been a while. This seems aggressive. Well, actually, maybe not. So, bad guy has a weird response in Ray Chargels and Cat. So I assume this is a dead cat. Cat is dead. And because bad guy doesn't have, like, say, a cassowary already on the board, or a murder wing already on the board, they can't just answer the snowball and pick it off. Which I'm always looking for when I'm going first on this map, is trying to get this snowball to snipe something, and I can just never do it, because it's like, oh, well, they have a cassowary here, and I can't kill it, so if I send my snowball up there, the cassowary just eats it, or, you know, they have something else that could be in range, and then the follow-up snowball gets it, whatever. But instead, bad guy, Kivo and Stairmaster, we've seen a couple of Stairmasters tonight, and we got the aforementioned Fire Ant. So this is a level 7 Fire Ant. We're not looking at, you know, it's not simply, oh, well, my Fire Ant is level 20 and yours is level 4, so get pooped on. It's a little different here. Chat, I feel like we've seen way more Ray Chargels tonight than we've seen in, like, the last 2 months. Does anybody else feel that way? Am I hallucinating here? I'm very tired. Maybe I'm just hallucinating. And I'm seeing, like, 12 Ray Chargels, and there was really not that many. But it feels like we've seen way more Ray Chargels tonight than we normally do. I know I was waving my hand in front of my face like I'm John Cena or something. That doesn't make any sense here. I guess it is related to sight, or, like, this is the universal sign of, like, I don't know what I'm seeing, I guess. My Fire Ant is better, still in a pack, but is better. Fair enough. All right, so here's bad guy's answer. Bad guy's answer is a level 10 Fire Ant. So, showing off that, in fact, you can win from a level deficit. This is, of course, 3-level deficit, and as mentioned in other games and on many other occasions, it is my personal opinion that that's where things start really hitting the fan. Now, we are getting something that I'm not super enthusiastic about, and that is the center panic point trap. However, multiple things. If you trap the trap, they will detonate. And this is an AoE trap that drops fire, so that is going to make that a lake of fire for a period of time. Other point is, bad guy doesn't have a 1 key on the board to just soak this and claim the panic point back, so this isn't terrible. And as mentioned, bad guy just really hosed themselves here, right? They put this trap here, and now they pass turn with their stuff in the fire. Aggressive cat is aggressive. Overwriting the fire here, but you're going to get the kill. This is risky, where bad guy will get to retaliate. There's multiple things on fire. If there was a trap, like, especially if it was here, but I don't think there's any chance. There could be a trap here, but obviously bad guy put one here. You can make some assumptions. This is just like, that's kind of brutal. Now, it's only a 3-2 panic point advantage, so our hero can't just go overboard. But this is significant. This could be a significant tempo gain here. Klepto getting in there. Cat going down. I don't think this dies. We'll find out momentarily. It does die. I thought it was going to be a little healthier. So we got Snowball and Cat for not letting me click. Snowball and Cat for Stairmaster, Snowball and Cat. So you got a you got a free Stairmaster, and you're also going to get a free Klepto here. Oh, bad guy, not like this. It didn't have to be this way. That's kind of bold. Why is there a smiley? I don't quite get the smiley here. But we're out of keys from our hero already. This game is just like chugging fast. There's still 20 more turns, though. I guess the smiley does deter the ray from staying, so it can't necessarily just immediately kill the spider. I guess that's the thought process, but couldn't bad guy have... Not quite enough. You couldn't just slam the Hevo here to pop this. I guess it's fine. I guess it's fine. More mind games into bad guy. If bad guy puts a trap here, I'm gonna laugh my ass off. Noxious when there's a smiley. I mean, yeah, you definitely want to play AoE into the thing that has reflect, right? That's how that works. Sound strategy. Honestly, if I were in bad guy's shoes, like, I'm just smelling panic out of bad guy right now. They only have 5 keys left, and it's like, what do you do in this position with 5 keys to break this? You're down panic points, so you have to go in. They have traps. They've already, like, psychologically, they're already messing with you because of the traps. And by the way, those are some high ROI traps. I'm just going to keep nodding. But, yeah, you're psychologically screwing with your opponent. Bad guys down Phobies. There's not really a clean way to break it. You don't have any... Because our hero's name is HighROI. So they're high ROI traps. Return on investment. It's funnier when you explain the joke, right? Anyway, in the meantime, we're getting more traps getting detonated, and bad guy, like, I don't know. Bad guy's hosed at this point. Like, them self-detonating that trap, I don't want to say the game was over at that point, but it was like, it wasn't over, it was pretty close to over. That's just an enormous tempo loss. You just got crapped on there. Because you took 2 hits of fire plus the explosion damage. Your opponent was able to successfully invade. And then the follow-up turn was also good. It wasn't even like, oh, well, the Stairmaster died, I'm down 5 keys, let me dig out of this hole. The follow-up turn after that was also very strong. So at this point, it just feels like we're going to play the patience game. Unless HighROI decides that they're tired of playing this particular game and just send their whole team in. It's kind of like, I don't know what bad guy does. Does this even... 442, so... Technically, this doesn't die to disease as long as it doesn't leave the spa. But bad guy eventually has to take a point. And, like, they don't have a Gonzo to make an insane Noxious or something. Starting to hate these stalemates. I mean... This is kind of what happens sometimes. This isn't really a stalemate, though, because it's taking a while, but it is clearly advancing to an end state. And realistically, this is a good example. Yeah, I mean, trap phobies inherently slow down the game for sure, but this isn't a perfect example of, for the love of God, don't punish people for surrendering, because there is no world in which bad guy thinks that they can win this game. Like, I refuse to believe that they think they can win this game. And if they don't think they can win this game, let them just leave. By the way, has this jar moved all game? Hey, it moved! The jar is alive. For a second, I thought it was like a visual glitch and it was just stuck up there. Alright, so the bad guy gets a trap. You got your 1 trap. I'm a little surprised that the ray didn't go in, but I guess you're not going to kill this. But yeah, trap phobies absolutely slow down the game, of course. But I do feel like this is a great example of, hey, don't punish people for leaving, because bad guy was at such an enormous disadvantage that, yes, our hero could have made a mistake and lost the game. But like, they're blowing them out for most of it. And then bad guy has to make a series of bad plays to even it out. And then pray, like, there's just too many things that have to fall into place. It's kind of like, in other games, and I've talked about this before, like, say it's StarCraft or Warcraft. In those games, if you stay in a game that you have clearly lost, just for the purpose of dragging things out, that's considered BM or bad manners. It's just like, hey, you don't respect me enough to just surrender. Because in those games, there isn't, I mean, there's raiding, but it's not, you know, like, you're not farming resources like XP or whatever. Which is an argument to, and of course, if you surrender, you lose those things here. There is an argument to say, hey, if you're losing, just stay in the game and get a little bit more XP or tiers. I'm of the opinion, just give people a set amount of XP and tiers every game, like a certain amount for winning and a certain amount for losing, and then just let people play, so when they determine, hey, this game is over, the game is over. I don't think it's necessarily better than what they're, like, better doing what Phobies does currently, where it's based on what you've accomplished in the game. I don't think that leads to a better game state. Quite obviously. Like, we're looking at this game. This game was over 10 turns, like, maybe more than 10 turns ago. The game was already decided, and we're just going through the motions. Now, like I said, it's entirely possible that our hero just takes the game and just, like, Mach punts it into the Andromeda Galaxy. But that was not going to happen. Like, that's not going to happen in 99.9% of the games. Maybe my games, I'll punt it, but, like, most people are not going to, so just let both players move on with their lives and get to the next game. Because I can tell you right now, past a certain threshold in that game, only one person was having fun. I'm going to give you a hint. It was not the guy above me. All right, GG there. HighROI. Suddenly that name became very difficult to pronounce. On to back into the viewer game stage, or back onto the viewer game stage. Zone in here on Megalo, my favorite owl boy. Ooh. There's only one owl, right? Unless you're going to stretch it to be Edgar / wait, what? What is happening, chat? Why? I feel like this has not been a super weird night. Like, we haven't gotten an enormous amount of weird games. We've gotten some weird games tonight. Onda banking to 5. Bad guy banking to 7 to open up with Fire Ant. 2 games, 3 Fire Ants. In fact, it is everyone's favorite owl boy. It is Doom. And since Onda submitted this game, I have to imagine that Doom does make an impact, which is pretty exciting. I'm still waiting for somebody to submit a Rusty replay where Rusty matters. It hasn't happened yet. It's been over a year since the game came out. Still haven't seen a Rusty game that it mattered. I like the aggression here. There is a risk that there's a trap there. And it would be kind of ironic if Doom gets caught by this trap. Okay. Okay, so no traps here. Doom obviously would have ate it. Rusty only got Rusty a week ago. I'm working on. I mean, honestly, Rusty at level 1. Well, I take it back. Rusty's health matters. So, like, a level 1 Rusty isn't necessarily going to be a viable phobie. All right, where is the trap? Center point? Ah, okay. Unique placement there. Onda with the aggression here. Like, this is... I like it because it does kind of force bad guy into a weird spot. Like, the Stabby is on an island up here. I don't know if the Fire Ant just dies here, though. Wait, what? Level 11. Doom has 390 damage at level 11. Jesus Christ. Somebody, please. Like, Doom needs help. I am the first person to say we don't want to displace Cyclops or Stairmaster by making Doom, oh my god, Doom's so good now. But, at the same time, like, for heaven's sake, 390 damage? Little challenge play action here. Is Onda going to eat a trap here, though? I think Doom has one more action. I like the body block here, preventing the damage from going down on the Hevo. Tickles to supplement. Oh, man. How bad does bad guy feel here right now? You bank for your first few turns to get this Fire Ant, and your opponent just poops on that entire game plan. They're like, Doom into Tickles. Get wrecked, nerd. Just getting absolutely dunked here. All right, so they get the Clinico play. Fair enough. Hero with 8 keys, bad guy with 6. Although that Fire Ant is fairly healthy. Tickle's going to eat the trap, and it's going to eliminate this cassowary, I believe. Or did it have to move twice? It shouldn't have. This Tickle should have been able to attack, right? Because it was here? I mean, it doesn't really matter since it's on the fire. It probably would have died anyway. I love the Tickle's animation when it eats a trap. It looks cool. I don't remember what the Doom one looks like. It doesn't look as cool. Yeah, Onda just, like... What's that saying? Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth? That's basically what happened. Battle plans don't survive first contact with the enemy, typically. And that's basically what happened here. Oh, no! No, not like this. The jar. Oh. I mean, there was nothing else bad guy could do to kill it, but, like... Ugh, that feels bad. Feels bad, man. The irony is we're going to have cooked Fire Ant here. Hey, did Onda miss an attack? Oh, the attack is going here. I was going to say, did you miss an attack on Fire Ant? Fire Ant's going to die to fire, ironically enough. That irony can be pretty ironic. Onda still with 4 keys, by the way. I imagine we'll see some set of healers. Or healer, at the very least. Final Phobie is Murder Wing. Onda's going to have to back off here. I mean, forces are beat up. Bad guy can stage somewhat of an advance, I guess. Yep, there's the Clinico. Onda with 0 Fs to give. Contortio, the Final Phobie. I mean, one of these can die. I don't think both can die, but even if they could, I don't know that it matters. I don't know why I didn't eat that one trap, because you didn't need to, probably. Now, there is an argument that, like, bad guy, because Doom is dimensional, isn't it? Yeah, Doom is dimensional, so maybe, like, bad guy could do a challenge play to end up on the panic point, but I don't... It doesn't matter. Hilariously, though, Doom needs some help from Contortio in order to eliminate the freaking Murder Wing. Oh, you just won. I was going to say, like, you can probably kill the jar as well. Yeah, you could absolutely kill the jar. Ball game. Doom in dominating fashion. GG. Alright, so we're zoning in with hordzz as our hero here on Pluto, but check out bad guy's avatar. We get this saluting ice cream. I've never seen the ice cream avatar. That's kind of cool. So the notes here are, that's one hell of a bad omen placed on this poor soul. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, we're getting an uh-oh from chat? Why? Getting a heart attack, or I'm getting a heart attack by enemy phobies trying to heart rush my heart. Sort of. But in real life, they're coming after me. I'll let you know, chat, if I'm so tired that I'm starting to hallucinate actual phobies in real life. In which case, yes, I will log off at that point. I will go to bed. I don't know which will go first, fire tile or panic point damage. I know this, but I don't remember. It's like something... I keep meaning to write it down, because there is a sequence. Like, healing spa is first, of course, before poison, disease, that sort of stuff. the puppy's gonna be looking like Snowball. I do kind of, like, we don't dress up panic points or last. I thought that was the case, DT. I was gonna say, if DT's still here, DT will absolutely know. As far as this game goes, I know I'm rambling about a bunch of stuff because I'm super tired. But, Our hero here, fairly standard stuff. Bad guy with a much slower response, so it is going to open up our hero the opportunity to try and claim things. The bad guy has bank to 6, hero to 5. Let us know if you see Henrietta. I did earlier today. It wasn't green and blue, let me tell you that. It was not green and blue. Actually, it was a cave cricket, chat. Sal, the spider that we talked about the other night, is still lurking somewhere and not doing a very good job at killing these goddamn cave crickets. Yeah, hopefully we'll get a sneak peek for the next update soon on it. But let's get back to this game. We'll keep talking about other nonsense in the meantime anyway. So anyway, 5-2-4. We get a... I don't... Okay, Temptress, sure. I mean, whatever. So we're probably... Yep, we're going to have to get the Cassowary Leap. That eliminates both of these Phobies. There's almost assuredly a trap here, and we get a Noxious follow-up onto the lava? That feels completely unnecessary. Like, you could have put the Noxious here. I do like the AWOL block, but, like, the Noxious could have been right here. I feel like that... I don't know. That doesn't seem necessary. This is the second Jill-Ted combo we've seen tonight that is not going well. In Australia, they have spiders the size of plates that live in your home. Yeah, I forget the name of them. I want to just say huntsman spiders, but I don't think that's right. And down goes Ted, just like his wife. The clock spider. Yeah, there's a lot of pictures of, like, it's a full-sized round clock, and then you just see, like, 4 legs sticking out, and it's like, you know that spider's the whole thing behind it. Good omen, yep. Get a little bad omen action. I mean, we knew it was coming, but still. Is this... That Noxious is dead. I feel like our hero was just feeling a little frisky here. A little overzealous. I mean, admittedly, we're now looking at... Whoop, that was weird. I keep pausing it in between turns, and that's why that's happening. So, Noxious, Cassowary, AWOL, Cat... Corn, Jill, Ted. Actually, our hero's behind. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Our hero's actually losing here. Well, camel spiders will chase people, Taco. Like, they aren't... From what I understand, camel spiders don't actually chase you like they're trying to attack you. I mean, I'm sure they will if provoked. But they live in the desert, and allegedly the reason is they're trying to run into... the shade of your shadow. But obviously, if it's running at you, it's going to look like it's charging at you, right? I don't know if that's actually true, so don't take that with a grain of salt. But I mean, I know that they will go after people, but I don't know what the reason is the part that I'm doubtful of. That's bold. What? Like, why put the snowball here? It could have been here or here, right? Like, it didn't have to be on the lava? This must be the... Yep, here it is. Look at that. That is beautiful. This is a level 17... 370 power down. Look at this. Oh my god. That is brutal. Obviously, Snowball's going to die to the lava. Like, whew. Imagine if a planet had way more oxygen, bugs will be way bigger. That's what happened here on Earth. That happened here on Earth, like, with the dinosaurs and pre-dinosaurs. There was more oxygen. Trapdoor spiders, though. I mean, lots of spiders like traps. But yes, I get it. There's a lot of ambush spiders. I mean, there's a lot of ambush. Like, the insect and arachnid world, like, the bug world, is horrifying the more you learn about it. Like, it's funny talking about it when you talk about nature and just, like, the horrendous, awful things that these creatures will do to each other. I know we're talking about bugs, but it's just like, our hero is just dominating bad guy. Bad guy was starting out by saying bad guy is just getting... bullied into the corner here. And you're finding a spider egg sac, and I assume that's supposed to be attic, as opposed to addict. Attic as in, like, the top part of your house. Because that's happened to me before. I've found them in all kinds of places, like in sheds, in attics, and crawl spaces, in, like, just the backyard, because there's a corner. Sorry, Hordes, I know we spent a lot of this talking about nonsense, but, like, that was a savage, Bad Omen hit. Credit where credit is due. But, like, you were kind of bullying them, despite the technically being behind on the key losses at that one point. GG. Well played. Alright, bug and movie discussions aside. We're jumping in here. Hold on. I have no idea why my spreadsheet did something weird, but BADR here. BADR? I don't know how to pronounce his name. There's a period involved too, so like, is this... I don't know what this means. You're gonna have to tell us, Hero, what your name means, or how I'm supposed to pronounce it. But we're here on Mount Blight. Speaking of some, the Bug Kingdom, we'll say. But this is a very close game with a bunch of Grimes action. The opponent was doing some very good combos, but you can't win Jill. Alright, let's see. Let's see. I don't know if that means so... like, are you saying Jill can't win? Or are you saying you can't beat Jill? Because that is a common thing, and this is not meant in, any way to be insulting, but it is a common thing that I see in international chats when I'm watching other games and stuff, that people will say, like, did X win Y? As in, did X beat Y? So it seems to be a common thing that comes up with the grammar and vocabulary. So I'm curious which is intended here. We'll have to find out. Alright, so we get a little grimy action here, as foretold. I got Wolf, Black Widow, and Brown Recluse spiders where I live. I think we technically can have Black Widows and Brown Recluses. Thankfully, I haven't seen them, but we absolutely get a lot of Wolf spiders. And they are, like, they'll creep you out. They'll creep you out. Little Thunder Rocks action to counter the early Hevo 3.0. And also an enormously large panic point advantage for our hero here. In fact, it's all but one panic point over 1,400 damage. Get him. I've seen a wolf spider that was huge. It was like the size of my head. I don't know that it would be necessarily that large, but yes, wolf spiders do get very large. They get very big, and they are very fast. They are very fast. Has anybody out there played the game Grounded? Because there's actually, it was the first game that I saw that has a literal arachnophobia setting. Because some of the, like, the spiders are creepy, and because the whole premise of the game is that you get shrunk down and you're in your backyard, the spiders are huge. Like, they're the size of bears. And they're obviously fast. So, there's a setting to, like, turn them into something else. Like, I don't know what it is. It's like a teddy bear or something. So that way, like, because people were getting, like, legit scared. I played Kingdoms of the Undergrowth. I want to play that game. I played the demo a little bit. Are those spiders dangerous? What, wolf spiders? I mean, Black Widow and Brown Recluses technically are. Not technically. Uh-oh. Are we getting our first Grimes growth? Grimes! Alright. One in the books, chat. They turn into jelly beans? Is that really what happens? So, Black Widows and Brown Recluses are very, very venomous. Like, they are oh, baby, hold on. Boom! That's a lot of AoE. And Grimes can't get to the spa this turn because, although you can burrow through this, it is obstructing the path. Sorry, we have more important things to talk about than bugs for a moment, chat. We've been talking about a lot about bugs tonight. Blastomatic also makes its way onto the board, I guess, as a pseudo counter to the Hevo, but it also is just large, so, like, it can do stuff. I wonder if it would have been better to put the Grimes here, because it would have been out of range of Noxious, especially since it already went. The Muffin could have hit it, and then you can threaten killing the Tickles here. I don't know if it really matters. I also don't know that this... Well, I take it back. I kind of like Honey Bear on this map, because you can definitely shut down 2 of your opponent's panic points, and then... Wait, what? Yeah, 41 turns is going to be a longer game. Normally, this is every game, every time. Kivo being aggressive, it goes in, it gets a boom to the face for its efforts. Ooh, is this a dead Hevo? Oh, no! Bad guy! Grimes harvesting. And basically immune. You can't get to the Grimes fast enough. Because Tickles is not going to do enough damage. Rocket Man, I guess, is the counter to Blasto. Okay, I can understand why sending in the Hevo. Like, it's clearly wrong, right? Like, it is incorrect to do this. But I can understand why somebody would send in the Hevo, because it's kind of like, oh, well, I'm immune. Like, there's no way they have enough damage. But then you just forget. I think the assumption was, hey, they can't get it with Snowball. They can't get it with Jar. So what are they going to kill it with? And then it's just like, oh, yeah, there's Murder Wing, because there is the surface area to get both to connect. I think sometimes it can be easy to lose track of, oh, by the way, my opponent can do X, Y, and Z, and I just forgot. All right, so we're probably going to get another Noxious hit here, but this Grimes is at... Jesus, this Grimes grows fast. I thought it only got 3 kills. It got the 1 here, it just got the Tickles, and then it got the Hevo. I don't feel like counting it up. I'm too tired to count. Even if it's basic arithmetic. I don't care, Chad. My brain is fried. Okay, it is 3. Yeah, that Grimes is now, like, horrifying. That is the bad guy in a slasher movie. Rocket Man just slapping the snot out of Tickles. An absolute slobber knocker, chat. Spud is the final phobie. Okay, so the note said that this game was close. I'm not gonna lie. This game does not feel close. I mean, maybe this is where it's gonna start to feel close. I mean, you just walked into... This seems like a mistake. Oh, this seems like a mistake. Well, maybe not a mistake, but... Maybe you had to do that? Oh, no. Oh, you got another attack. All right, that's fair. Okay. I thought the Rocket Man was going to live. Now, Bad Guy, because of this, has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 1 panic point advantage. So it's an enormous amount of damage. They're going to catch up quick, but, like... I guess it doesn't matter where you put the Gonzo boost for this. Because you're not going to boost the electrical damage. But that's a dead Blasto. That's a dead Blasto. And all of a sudden, it's looking... looking kind of sketchy, or sketchier than it certainly did mere moments ago. 20 more turns, chat. Grimes becomes Cerberus with 3 kills. To be fair, 3 kills is... Maybe it's not asking a lot, but that's not an insignificant amount, you know what I mean? Down goes Ray, pays for its sins. And there's the Jill. The Jill that was foretold. Panic point advantage hero. We're looking at 49-35 to 28-20. Obviously, Bad Guy can claim a lot of points, but surprise, there are traps. Have fun. And obviously Grimes is going to feast. By the way, our hero also has the Grimes avatar. So this Ray is kind of out of commission for a little bit. So our hero doesn't have, quantity-wise, a whole lot of Phobies to act with. So you do have to be a little cautious. The Bees action. Grimes. Sniping the Noxious. Where does the Murder Wing go? Has to be Spud. Yeah, Spud, definitely. That reduces an enormous amount of damage coming in. This isn't live. So while these are healthy... I mean, you're not killing this Grimes right now, I don't think. Actually, you could. Grimes could be dead. We need nocturnal games here? What do you mean? Wait, what? You have enough damage to kill this with just 3 attacks? Oh, there's a 4th one here. Okay, never mind. That makes sense, yeah. For some reason, I was thinking the Gonzo wasn't in range, but... Alright, this game did get much closer than I thought it was going to be. Oh, Nocturnal's a player. Okay, fair. I was like, I am streaming at night. I don't understand what you mean. I don't know what to tell you. Panic points are even, so it's just going to come down to some Phobie slapping in the end. This game was pretty wild. It is true that, like, killing this Jill is going to be a real problem. And obviously the Jill is a body blocker for the Jin Sting. Panic point advantage hero once again. But we still have so many turns. As compared to the other games, like, this is a game where it would not behoove somebody to surrender. Because it's like... I'm sure somebody else other than me could map out the turns and know, oh yeah, there is a way, there isn't a way. But this feels like it would be difficult to predict. Honey Bear goes down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 1 once again. 30-55 to 23-50. Panic or health advantage still in favor of our hero. I imagine we're going to get a lot of this, but our hero is way more mobile. And eventually they can run this down if they want to, or they could just go punch the heart. You do have to be cognizant of the fact, like, they could oops, I step on a trap here a lot, and that would be a really sad way to give up the game. I don't know about anybody else, but I absolutely lost track. You can't fight this now, though, because of the trap damage. 5 to 3. Unicorn on the heart. Ooh. But yeah, I think you can just do this. And there's no chance that there's a trap here. This one was a close game. Honestly, it was looking like it was well in hand for our hero. And then bad guy staged a pretty substantial comeback. But it turns out our hero never didn't have it. GG. Well played. Well played. As chat's pointing out, we got somebody new here on Like and Subscribe. It's Corvus. Shout out to everybody who submits games. As I mentioned earlier, of course, if you want to submit your own games, hit up the Random Thoughts Discord. Link for that and the live stream are down there by the Like and Subscribe button. Very fitting for this map. Just throwing that out there. But the notes here are... Looking at the wrong one. Hook, line, and sinker. Almost read the wrong notes for this one. We'll see what happens. Fresh meat. All right, we're the butcher. Uh-oh. I just saw the stream blink for a second. Hopefully it's okay. My internet's been kind of flaky lately, chat. Like, it just straight up went down for several hours the other day. And I'm like, well, good thing I wasn't streaming. But as far as the game goes, getting somewhat standard openers. I mean, bad guys being a little more aggressive. As compared to the earlier game where the notes were like a very weird opener from my opponent, this is a weird opener, but not like really weird. It's like, okay, they went Gravedigger and 3-1 drops. That's a little odd. Not 6-1 drops off the bat. But the more standard things, of course, are Gravediggers. Stabby coming in, also fairly standard on this map. Not, like, I don't know, you'd have to tell me, chat, whether you see a lot of Stabby on this. It seems like it's common enough to not say that, oh, I never see that. I mean, not literally, but, you know, the colloquially, never. But it's not the bog standard, I guess. I do love Oopsie Baby in this map a lot. I need to try Oopsie Baby on this more. But speaking of more oddities, well, aside from the Stabby stare down, we do get a Bad Omen. You saw an earlier Bad Omen, but it was on the side of our hero. Here it's on the side of Bad Guy. Creep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bad Guy still has one slot open, and it's, wow. This is just a lot of 1-drops. Like, why? That's a lot of low keys into our hero who already is banked to 7 and you just maxed out his bet. Wait, what? I don't understand that. Well, I kind of do, because if you put a Phobie here, it can go 1, 2, 3, or wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, and get to this cleanly. You can see it easier down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing across the top. But I don't know if that's worth it. You'll never take this point. I mean, I guess, but I guess it's fine, because typically on this map, it goes so long, and everybody knows by this point, everybody knows that Gravediggers or Crushmores represent, hey, I'm going to break this block and blow you up. Oh, this is you, Kuros? Well, welcome. So, that's pretty good Evo. Oh, this is only, as compared to the level 17 Bad Omen we saw earlier. Guess we might as well check some levels. Wow, wait, timeout. What? This is a pretty significant level disparity. Just a little bit. A little bit. I'm just saying. Do we get a counter block here? Is this one... like, this one I get. I don't know about this block. I did check the stress levels of both. Oh, what you mean, like when I zoned into the game? No, I didn't look at it. I typically don't. I just look at the names so that we can keep things rolling. I really should, because it informs more of the discussion in-game, but to be honest, I always forget. 69 stress level difference? Is it really? Nice. That's a significant difference. Like, kablamo. Evo dropping the hammer. So yeah, I didn't finish my statement earlier, but this block here I think is fine because the game is going to last long enough like this that you eventually get the cooldown back, and then it's like, all right, great. So yeah, Evo's going to take 1 billion here. I assume it dies. Yep. You hate to see it if you're the bad guy. You love to see it if you're the good guy here. Just boom. Now, as we've said on many occasions, levels allow you to make mistakes. We'll see how much, because there's only 4 more turns in this game. Beauty? Sure. No Blom, it's just a regular attack. So, it's possible this Beauty dies. Okay, I don't think it is now, but... After all that, this thing still lives. But obviously we get the takedown here. Haha, the smiley. I love it. You get the smiley to protect this. I mean, you can still blom, but you're going to regret it. Instead, we get the regular attack. That's fair. But it doesn't quite kill. 7 keys remaining to... Well, 7 now. Yeah, it couldn't quite kill this. It's a lot of damage, but not quite enough. I have to assume that Beauty still dies, right? Well, maybe not, because now this body blocks. This was async? Okay. Oh, there was a lock on the ability? Oh, yeah, you're talking about for the Blom on that turn, yes. Alright, challenge play. Into the chain attack. Dead cat. Still 6 keys left for our hero, by the way. Just throwing that out there. Oh, baby. An Alistor. And that appears to have drawn the concession there. Muffin won me many games before I had Clinico. Yeah, Muffin is so good. Muffin is so good. This is pain. That was something. That was very well played by our hero here. Well played. Like, just kind of, you can see, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I mean, just right here, before you get to any of these, like, brutal. Well played, GG. GG. But we do have, at the end of this month, Tiny Terrors for Fright Night 8. So I talked about it briefly earlier, but if you are interested in playing in Fright Night number 8, it is Tiny Terrors, which means that you are only allowed to use common and uncommon phobies. Only commons and uncommons. Games are going to be arena. You're going to have your usual Swiss cut to top X based on number of people. Everything's going to be set to level 1. And you're only allowed to use common and uncommon phobies. It seemed to be a pretty exciting format for the people that were trying it in some of the unofficial events, we'll say. But this is going to be the time that we're going to try this for Fright Night and see how people like it. I'm hoping that we get a big turnout. So anybody who's watching this, either here on the live stream, link for that in the description, by the way, or if you're watching this on YouTube, hit up the Discord and also tell people about this. Like, get people hyped about it. Let them know that it's coming. It's going to be the end of the month. The dates right now are the 24th and 25th of June. So it's a Saturday and a Sunday, unless you're living in the future compared to me. So there will be, I already sent it out to the devs so that they know I have to officially get it approved and that sort of thing. And then they will, we'll get an official announcement, but we can still start talking about it, generate interest. I will post everything to my Discord first. So that's where the sign up link will be until we can get the official announcement made. And then we'll go from there. There is, of course, going to be a cap on the players because, well, if this turns out to be the one where 200 people sign up, we can't be playing for 3 weeks. You know what I mean? So, but I wanted to make sure that we took a moment to talk about that. I'm going to try and remember to talk about it on each stream so that people will keep it in their minds. Depending on how it goes, we'll see whether this comes back as a recurring format versus doing regular phobies. I think it would be nice to be able to switch up between the two so that if you have your collection, you want to use it. Because there are fun phobies at rare and ultra rare. But there are times where, to let people with smaller collections, or just they don't have certain things, or you just want to try something different. There are always reasons to play around with formats. But there's also, one thing I forgot to mention, there are going to be no map bans for this. So it's very much just going to be, we're going to get in there, we're going to flip a coin, one of you picks a map, one of you picks who goes first, and we play. And we're going. Don't have to worry about all the additional stuff for this one. If it turns out that, hey, we need the map bans later on, play it by ear. But we're going to let it run for this tournament and see how it goes. But like I said, that's going to do it for tonight, everybody. So we'll be back tomorrow for some variety and, of course, more Phobies next week. But as always, everyone, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And Black Lives Matter.